Mastering guys tend to find a speaker that that works for them, that they really like the sound of and they feel they can work on, and they usually stick with that speaker for quite some time. So when the opportunity came to work here at Sterling, I decided that it was time to look for a speaker that I could live with for a long, long time. So I went to a friend of mine's studio and listened to them. I took a little material with me to some things that I was familiar with, and we listened, and I played 30 seconds of probably 3 different projects, and I immediately knew that it was exactly what I wanted to hear.
I had not heard about them until a very good friend, Mike Chafee, who's a system designer of high-end home theaters, and someone I met at an audio engineering convention through a great mastering engineer, Doug Sachs. Doug was going to be doing a presentation for us at AES, and he insisted that Mike Chafee come in and vet the sound system. Mike was always pushing the envelope and always trying to help people out to up their game. And he told me about the Revels and just said, "You've got to hear these things. Trust me, I'm going to take care of it." At that point, I did a little research and I saw that Stereophile had reviewed them, John Atkinson and I think Kalman Rubinson, and they just couldn't say enough good things about the speakers. If I were going to give a medical analogy, I'd say it was like going from only having x-rays as a doctor to having MRIs. And I hope I can always recreate in my mind the experience of hearing them for the first time. I was just stunned.
Just got the Revel speakers, the Ultima Gem 2s, about 4 months ago, and it was the easiest transition in over 25 years. It was just painless, and they're so natural and I would say accurate, that that's just what I need as a mastering engineer. And I'm really happy. Plus it's easy to listen to. If you're going to be sitting and listening to music for a profession for 8 hours a day, you want to make sure that the speakers that you're using are musical themselves.
Kevin Vex and the people at Harman who designed the speakers did a lot of testing to identify what really mattered in a speaker. And what they came up with was what really matters is a linear frequency response, meaning no particular range is overemphasized or de-emphasized over another. Very low distortion, meaning you're really hearing what's there and not something that the speaker is adding. And a smooth dispersion over a wide area. And the Revels do exactly that.
Last time I bought a speaker was about 2002 or 3. And they were excellent speakers, but I was always trying to adjust to them. Always finding that a client would say, "I need more high end," or "I need more low end." And that just wasn't the case with the Revels.
Even some really highly regarded speakers that you can do good work on may have a certain kind of known attribute to them, like those XYZ speakers are great, I love working on them, but the upper mid is a little forward. And with these, I no longer have to do any sort of mental compensation of that nature. It's really just make it sound good without regard to any idiosyncrasies of the speaker.
The low-level detail resolution is extraordinary. You can really hear small changes in the audio. You can hear the effects of your processors. You can hear what they call microdynamics, meaning small dynamic level changes that are occurring in the speaker and in the sound. In fact, I sort of rediscovered all my own equipment that I've been working with for years took on a whole new dimension with these speakers.
I've actually come to really like the bass a lot too, because it's so defined and so even that you can hear really small EQ changes in the difference between boosting something or cutting something at 80 hertz or 100 is super easy to hear.
Ear fatigue on the Revels is extremely low. They don't squawk at you. You can listen loud, which I don't do for very long periods of time, but you can play the gnarliest rock and roll quite loud, and they don't add any gnarliness or any unpleasantness on their own. Whatever unpleasantness is there is, going to be there, but you can listen loud, you can listen at a moderate level, you can listen at a low level. So because of all that range, and because of their lack of coloration, they're pretty low ear fatigue. In terms of my advice to another mastering engineer, obviously the more you hear, the better your work is going to be. These speakers tell it like it is and they make it fun. They don't flatter. They do reveal problems, but when it sounds great, it really sounds great. Makes being at work a pleasure. Translation is excellent.
Mastering engineers are seeking nirvana, and I really think that we've come close to nirvana with the Revels because they are accurate but also non-fatiguing. That combination is very hard to find.
They're fun to listen to. They're easy to get results on, and I think they're actually a really good value. I would put these speakers in the absolute highest level of speakers made by anybody anywhere today. I feel like the Revels, especially the Salon 2, the big ones, are just an amazing value when you consider them against some other speakers that are $50,000, $70,000, $100,000.